Last October, after a MacArthur High School student ate a marijuana gummy that caused her to get sick, staff found her classmate with a similar edible hidden in a pill case. But after police confirmed it contained THC, the active ingredient in marijuana, the gummy and test kit were thrown into a faculty trash can. Weeks later, at Legacy of Educational Excellence High School, a district police officer found a student in possession of leafy marijuana and a THC vape pen. This time, after testing the vape liquid, records show the nearly 4 grams of marijuana and a legal smoking device were both tossed in a dumpster. Last year alone, NEISD police investigated 371 cases at the district's elementary, middle, and high schools for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, which includes THC and vape pens like this one. Time and again, officers reported tossing seized items like THC gummies in the trash, or in some instances, didn't indicate at all where the items ended up. How did this happen?
It shouldn't have happened. It just should not have happened. The officers are all fully aware of how the discarding of the products is supposed to work.
Aubrey Chancellor, NEISD's Executive Director of Communications, points out that THC oil was often rinsed down the drain by officers and that the vape devices were no longer operable after being tested.
Because the vape pens can't be reused, because the oil can be discarded right then and there, it was just something that they were doing.
She walked in school, fine, healthy, clean backpack.
Destiny, whose daughter is a freshman at MacArthur, has twice been called to the high school this semester to pick up her child for being under the influence, and has twice been forced to take her to the emergency room. In the first incident, which Destiny described as an adverse reaction to taking Benadryl with friends, the teen also tested positive for THC. Late last month, after skipping class, the girl said a man at a nearby gas station bought her and her buddies alcohol. After the teen showed up back on campus intoxicated, Destiny arrived to find her being brought out in a wheelchair.
They buckled her up and handed me the barf bag and said, take care of it.
A subsequent ethanol screening showed the freshman was nearly 3 times the legal limit to operate a vehicle.
I'm very pissed. I'm hurt and I'm angry and I'm scared for children.
KSAT Investigates looked at the other large school districts in San Antonio and found that all of them have strict policies for storing seized drugs and paraphernalia, including THC vape pens. Chancellor said NEISD is now attempting to follow suit.
Moving forward, all of the officers are going to take anything and everything and take it back to the evidence room. We're glad that this was brought to our attention so that we could take the opportunity to relook at things, to see if that is really the best practice. And moving forward, that isn't going to occur anymore.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dillon Collier. Anything you want to say on your way in?
Dillon, you know I don't want to talk to you.
6 months after a jury found Josephine Perez Gorda guilty on 18 counts ranging from wire fraud to theft of government funds, she made a last-ditch effort to avoid prison. For nearly 6 years, Perez Gorda and her husband, a veteran injured in Afghanistan, carried on the ruse that he was paralyzed from the belly button down, garnering hundreds of thousands of dollars in Veterans Affairs benefits and Social Security payments, all while federal investigators gathered evidence that showed he could walk. This footage from the Department of Justice never seen publicly until now. Perez Gorda's husband, who also faced a slew of charges, died in federal custody early last year while awaiting trial. The couple was gifted this custom-built, specially adapted house in Dripping Springs. The executive director of Homes for Our Troops telling KSAT the charity plans to repossess the property pending an appeal in the case. After a federal judge sentenced Perez Gorda to 46 months in prison, he allowed her to remain free long enough to see her youngest daughter graduate. Good luck. Perez Gorda must report to prison by early June. After her release, she will serve 3 years of community supervision and owes just over $500,000 in restitution. Reporting outside the federal courthouse, Dillon Collier, KSAT 12 News.
So we're not playing this game right now, right?
A quick glance at Tony Valdez's arrest records leads you to assume that he would soon be spending time in prison. The former Army medic was accused of running after his girlfriend outside this Northwest Side neighborhood November 18th, pulling her back to his truck against her will and hitting her before the dispute continued at her home. Melanie Hagner's garage door was visibly damaged. Valdez, a weightlifter, had, according to the sheriff's office, ripped it off its rails while trying to break into her house. State law prevents us from showing body camera footage recorded inside residences, but here is audio of what Hagner told the Bexar County Sheriff's deputy who responded to the scene.
He pulled you back into that car against your will, correct?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Hey, that's good. You want to pursue charges?
I had imminent fear of great bodily harm.
A law school student at St. Mary's, Hagner's recitation of parts of the Texas Penal Code would have a major impact on what played out over the next few hours, as Valdez, who had no previous criminal record, would soon be charged with kidnapping and burglary of a habitation by force, both felonies, as well as misdemeanor family violence causing bodily injury.
I'm just stunned at how this is working. Like, kidnapping, bodily injury. I just wanted to go home, sir. Like, I don't want a relationship with her.
Okay.
I am trying to run away from her.
Valdez would pick up another misdemeanor charge less than 2 months later, after Hagner showed up at his apartment while he was on house arrest. Valdez called San Antonio police. Even though SAPD officers confirmed it was his residence, they determined Valdez had violated a protective order put in place after his initial arrest by allowing Hagner to spend time there.
I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed by the system.
A closer examination of the evidence raises serious questions about the handling of the case by the sheriff's office. Remember that claim repeated time and again that Valdez had dragged Hagner into his truck along Shanefield Road? Turns out multiple eyewitnesses disputed it on the deputy's own body camera.
And when he was dragging her back to the vehicle, how was he dragging her?
No, he didn't drag her. He grabbed her, but she got away from him.
Then there's this. A follow-up report from a BCSO investigator included a witness statement that Hagner could have left the roadside dispute but did not, and that she actually drove the truck from the scene because Valdez had hurt his knee while trying to get his phone back from her.
At any point did you drag her into your vehicle?
Absolutely not. She drove me.
Did you burglarize her home?
Absolutely not. I did not even step in.
Did you hit her at any point?
Absolutely not.
Court records from a 2019 divorce involving Hagner show the garage door was previously damaged. Even the deputy's supervisors seemed to express skepticism about where he was going with possible charges the evening of Valdez's arrest.
I just don't know if it reaches the level of kidnapping.
He spoke to the Night Mag assistant district attorney. She told him not to bring the felony charges. He wrote them up as felony charges. And when he brought them to that same person later, she rubber stamped it and put it in front of a judge who rubber stamped it.
The charges against Valdez remained pending for nearly 5 months. The same day KSAT Investigative sat down with him and defense attorney Joe Holscher, Bexar County prosecutors finally moved to reject all 4 cases. A district attorney spokesperson telling us in a statement the rejection decision came after the attorney assigned to it reviewed testimony from a protective order hearing. Hagner declined multiple interview requests from KSAT, and although she sent us a multitude of text messages, she did not provide a response on the record. With his criminal charges behind him, Valdez is now attempting to put out a series of fires on the civil side. Representing herself, Hagner has sued Valdez for property damage in small claims court, has filed for sanctions against Holscher, and in late March, filed for divorce from Valdez, even though they were never married and only dated for a few months. In late November, a week after Valdez was taken into custody, his legal counsel says Hagner added herself to Valdez's auto insurance policy and changed his marital status to married.
So there is no aspect of Tony's life that is untouched by Melanie Hagner because she's acting like a lawyer and has access to his personal information.
I'm thinking this woman's going to destroy me. She's going to want to destroy me because I don't want to be with her. It's about control.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dillon Collier.